Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It is Monday, October 27th. And listen to this. Bon Jovi is back on tour. Or will be going back on tour soon. Living on a Prayer. It's been a while since he's gotten a bit of tour. Tommy, to make on the day. So far they've only announced like New York City, summertime next summer. That's the Square Garden. But I'm sure they'll be coming to Philly during that tour. Jody loves Philadelphia, so I'm sure they'll be coming our way. I've never seen Bon Jovi live before. Don't do what we got. I may have to wheel myself down there to kind of check it out. But, no, uh, Bon Jovi is this 80s rock, the 80s, Journey, Foreigner. I see Lou Graham is on tour solo from Journey. All these guys from the 80s, just great bands. Styx. We played a little REO Speedwagon the other day. I mean, 80s music, I told you this before. To me, I think it's the best. I mean, I love the 60s, the Beatles. I love kind of some music in the 70s. I wasn't too crazy about that. And the 70s were kind of a weird decade. Every time I think of the 70s now, I think of leisure suits, stupid stuff like that. But it was okay. It was okay. But the 80s, great music, great movies, big hair. It was just a wild, wild decade. And a lot of people love the 80s now. The 80s are sort of like a revival, along with the 90s. So having lived through that time, I love it. I still love it. So I'm glad these guys are on tour. It'd be nice to go down and see them. Uh, I got my Eagles gear on because I'm all Eagled up. What a game is. Huh? I tell you what, Barkley, Saquon Barkley, don't count him out. You know it? Everybody a lesson yesterday. Everybody thought, oh boy, Saquon Barkley's done. Yeah, Eagles can't block. Oh, sorry if I all of a sudden burst into song. Second play of the game, Barkley goes off. What was it, 65 yards? Can't count him out. 150-yard day yesterday, couple of touchdowns. I'll tell you what, the Eagles, all those naysayers, the Giants don't cover the spread. They may even win the game. Yeah, come on. Giants weren't going to beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. The Eagles have beaten the Giants 13 straight games in Philadelphia. Giants can't win in Philly. Not since back in the day. They always had one time in Philly. I remember when first Eagle game I ever seen, Eagles Giants. And way back in the early 2000s, Eli Manning would come to town and he would tear your heart out. Eli's coming on. They had some good games. But the Eagles are now on a streak, 13 games in a row, beating the Giants in Philadelphia. So, Giants weren't going to come in and sweep the series. I mean, come on. We're talking about the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. Still good, 6-2 going into the bye. They weren't going to let the Giants sweep them. It was a division game and a home game. The Eagles lost their last home game to Denver. You weren't going to lose to them. I mean, come on. All those naysayers, stop it. Giants, The Giants are the Giants, okay? When it comes down to it, they're playing better. They have this Jackson Dart now at quarterback who's exciting, gives them a little life. But when it comes down to it, the Giants are the Giants. Stop. Anyway, yes, the Eagles do go into the bye 6-2 on top of the NFC East. And you know what happened last year? The Eagles took off after the bye. They just played better. And they need to buy. Some of these guys can rest up a little, like AJ Brown. Let's see what's going to happen with them. Apparently, the Eagles keep saying they're not going to trade. I hope they do. I keep saying it over and over and over again. I know you only have one football, but you've got to feed AJ Brown. You've got to give him the ball. Look at Jamar Chase on Cincinnati. Gets like 16 catches a game. Not yesterday, what, 11 catches. I mean, feed him the ball, give him the ball. I know you've got Devontae Smith there, you've got Dallas Goedert, you've got Barkley. You got a lot of weapons. We're not even talking about Jalen Hurts, who could hurt you through the air like he did yesterday, 4 touchdown passes, or you could run the damn. So I get it, but you got to feed AJ Brown the ball. Why did you bring him to Philadelphia? Why did you give up a first-round draft pick? Why are you paying him all this money if you're not going to use him? I don't. Then people complain about AJ Brown complaining, not getting the ball. That's good. I want my athlete to want the ball. I want the guy up at the plate for the Phillies to want to be up at the plate when there's the bases loaded in bottom, not to shrink away and say, no, I don't want to hit, I don't want to hit. No, I like an athlete who is determined and is not afraid. So to me, stop with all the trade AJ Brown. What are you going to get back for it? I mean, come on. Who else wide receiver do you have? Other than Devontae Smith, but you've already seen Dotson's okay. He's not great. Unless you draft somebody, who else is going to play with Devontae Smith? You really don't have another wide receiver. So stop with all the stupid talk about trading AJ Brown. But all it is radio, stupid Philadelphia media want to get clicks and phone calls so they have something to talk about. Just like the Bryce Harper thing. Let's address that while we're talking about it. Who the hell wants to trade Bryce Harper? Dave Dombrowski, his GM, made some comments at his end of the year press conference. And basically all he said was Bryce Harper did not have an elite year, which he did. Yes, part of the reason was because Bryce Harper hurt his wrist and was out about a month. So he's not going to have the numbers he usually had. But, he didn't have it. He did not have a good playoff series against the Dodgers. He did. That's just the truth. And Bryce Harper, if he gets a little criticized, he gets his panties in a bunch. And I like Bryce Harper. And I've been to a lot of games Bryce Harper stepped up, including that Bedlam at the Bank game where he hit the big home run against San Diego. I was there. His 300th home run, I was there. That walk-off grand slam against the Cubs a couple of years ago, I was there. And so I like Bryce Harper. He just turned 33, and he's got a lot of years to go. And the Phillies have 6 years on his contract yet, so they better hope that he's not cooked. He's not toast. So, but you can't get your feelings hurt. Dave Dombrowski may have just done that to prod him a little bit and say, let's go. You still have an MVP season in you yet before you pack it up, So, and let's hope he does. Can you imagine if we get the Bryce Harper that showed himself back in the past, hitting like 330, 40 home runs, 130 RBIs? He is going to take us, So, it's just, they can't trade Bryce Harper. I mean, they do. Hopefully, they would get a nice package, start to rebuild the farm system. But, Kyle Schwarber is already on the market. What if they lose him? And you're going to trade Bryce Harper too. I mean, you're going to gut your team, your power. Who else is going to hit home runs? So, and then that ballpark, Citizens Bank Park, you have to have some power. You got to have some power, guys. For a while there, the Phillies had no power, and teams were coming in, visiting teams, it's demolishing the Phillies because they were coming in and hitting all kinds of home runs in the Phillies. So stop with the Bryce Harper thing. All it is okay, let's have something to talk about on the radio. Let's get people to call them. Or, online. Let's say something outrageous so people can click on the link. Yeah. So that's all it is. Let's hope the GM and Bryce Harper talk during the off season and patch it. No hard feelings. And we start again in the spring, right? So there you go. Once the World Series is over, the Phillies will start with free agents. Hopefully they'll get to sign a couple of their own. I think what's going to happen when it comes down to it, the Phillies will re-sign Kyle Schwarber. He's too big in the clubhouse. And how are you going to replace 56 home runs in that line? You're not. You're not going to do it. So sign him to a contract. You may have to overpay him a little bit, give him an extra year, but bring him back. I think you're going to bring back JT Realmuto, because who else do you have to play catcher? I mean, first of all, your farm system is pretty barren as far as catchers are concerned. And second of all, there are no really good free agent catchers out there unless you trade for one. And who's going to trade you a good catcher? Catchers are a premium in Major League Baseball. So I think they're going to sign JT. I don't think they're going to sign Ranger Suarez. I think they're just going to let him go, let him walk, which is a shame because I like Ranger. Let's just hope he goes to a club and doesn't come back to haunt us, But I don't think they're going to sign Ranger because the Phillies do have strength at starting pitching. They have depth at starting pitching. Harrison Bader, I'd love for them to sign him because he really solidified center field. But I don't know if they will. I don't know if they will. Because they're talking about Rojas again. We know he can't hit. And Justin Crawford is coming up from the minor leagues, hopefully in the spring. He's a natural center. So it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't sign Bader. I would love him to, because he turned out to be a really good player for the Phillies, but I don't think they took him to. So 2 out of 4, not bad. Not bad. You can work with that. You can work around. So, but I think the Phillies are going to tweak the lineup here and there, maybe make some minor adjustments, maybe trade some people. I don't think Al Bogue is coming back with the team. Brandon Marsh, who knows? I don't think Nick Castellanos is coming back. The front office has a few moves to make. Bryson Stott, I would keep him another year because he gives some excellent defense. Hitting wise, he's got to stop trying to hit home runs, stop trying to swing too hard, and just hit line drives, and he'll be okay. So I think they'll keep Bryson Stott, but there are young kids waiting. So if these guys can't do the job, you get rid of their asses and you bring the kids up and you let them play, right? It's easy. So, speaking of which, World Series was so much sports tonight, man. Oh my God. Tonight's like the night you wish you had like 4 TVs all in the one day. I mean, you got the World Series. Game 3, Blue Jays, Dodgers. It's all tied up 1-1, going back to Dodger Stadium. Now, I think it's going to go 6 games. I really do. I think the Dodgers will probably win 2 out of 3 in LA. Go back to Canada, up 3-2. with a chance to close it out and win the World Championship on Friday, Game 6. Do I want the Dodgers to win? No. No. But are they going to win? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, sad to say, they probably won't. Yeah. Anyway, I think it goes at least 6 games. So you got the World Series. You've got Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Commanders, Redskins, or whatever. Chiefs are favored by like 12 points, 12 points. I think that'll be a good game. Don't forget, it's still National Tight Ends Weekend. Quite a few tight ends scored touchdowns yesterday. Kraft, the guy like Green Bay, 2 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, Eagles tight end, 2 touchdowns. Not every tight end in the league had touchdowns yesterday, sad to say. But a good many of them did. They did. So I would think, knowing it's still National Tight End Weekend, or whatever you call it, I think Travis Kelce is going to have at least 1 touchdown tonight. Maybe 2. I'm going to put it past him. Right? So we'll see what happens. So you got football to watch, and you've got basketball, especially our Sixers playing locally at home, going for 3 in a row. They started 2-0, which is a good sign. Hopefully they'll keep it up as the summer draws closer. But the Sixers, I think, I think the Sixers are 2-0, and I think they're going to be okay. I mean, I originally had doubts about the Sixers. I still have doubts about the Sixers. I'll be honest with you. I still have doubts about the Sixers. I mean, how much is Joel Embiid going to play? I mean, look at Saturday night, home game. He played an excellent first half. What did he have? Like 20 points in the first half? He looked like the Joel Embiid of old. And then he had something wrong. He went to the locker room, came back to see the final few minutes. Didn't play at all at the second. So, what's going on with him? But Maxey continues to be great. He had 4 threes in the first quarter the other night. This VJ Edgecombe looks like a player. So Sixers, I think they're going to be okay. Are they going to win a championship? No. I think they're going to be okay. I think Maxey's the definite leader of the team there. Definitely. And so, we'll see how they do tonight. They play Orlando at home. Orlando has always been kind of painted, but it's, the Wagner brothers, and Pancho Bichero down there, and they have a pretty good team. I mean, they made the playoffs during the East. It should be a good game against the Magic tonight. So you got that going. So you've got basketball, football, baseball, and a little bit of we do have hockey. So this is the rare time of the year. Think about it. When you've got all 4 sports playing on the same night. Think about that. How often does that happen? Not very often, because in the springtime, you still have the NBA going on in the springtime. We know that. And the NHL they're both kind of winding down their seasons, but they're still playing as baseball kicks off. Football in April, no. So this is really the only time of year that you can find all 4 sports on TV in one day. Who can ask for more, right? So, a lot of shit to watch, I'll tell you that. A lot of stuff. So hopefully the Sixers come out with a win and go 3-0. Hopefully the Sixers go 3-0. The Flyers, they've gotten off to an okay start too. And and the Eagles are off next week. So 2 more weeks, they'll be playing at Green Bay. What a game, huh? What a game. I can't wait for that. You know what I can't wait? don't forget this, my friends. During the off season, the Green Bay organization, the Snakes that go, they were the ones who originally filed a petition for the Eagles and their push tush, the brotherly shove, to be eliminated from the game of perfect. That was spearheaded by the damn Green Bay Packers. And it's still there, at least another year, we're still running push tush when we get. So what I think next week comes down to the Packers game, the week after next, after the bye. I think the Eagles should run. I hope they get in situations, 4th and goal, where they do the run, the push tush to get in. I hope they get to use it quite a few times in 2 weeks. That would just gnaw on the Packers' nerves, and all those cheesehead fans out there. So I think it will be a good game. Packers have a good team, as we saw last night when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And I think it's going to be a really good game. Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. And, they could end up, really, seriously, they could end up meeting in the postseason, too. So it's going to be a key game in a couple of weeks. Eagles Green Bay. So we'll see what happens, right? Okay, well, I guess that's about it for today. Don't forget to watch your sports tonight. And I think that's it. So I'll see you next time. NFL yesterday, another crazy week, another crazy week. Just look at it this way. Eagles are still on top of the NFC West. I have no problem with them. The NFC West, it's a juggernaut between the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams. I think the Rams are going to win the West. That's my feeling. And then you've got the NFC North, especially the Lions, the Packers are going at it, clawing at it there. And the Bears and Vikings are okay, but they're contenders. And NFC South, that's a good battle too, because you've got the Atlanta Falcons, and they're up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that should be a good battle too. So you got the AFC, Bills. Although, look, who would ever thought New England Patriots are on top as we wake up this morning and we look at our phones and open our newspapers, we find out who's on top of the AFC East, the New England Patriots. That's him. So I don't know how long that could last, but Patriots are starting to come around. Look out. Suppose they don't cheat. That's okay. AFC North, Steelers and Baltimore. That's probably pretty much what it comes down to right now. AFC South, the Colts are running away. They're 7-1. Can you believe they're 7-1 for the year? Top record in football. I mean, they are just playing great football behind that merchant of a quarterback, Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor, a hell of a running back, too. Jeez. They've got a good team out in Indy. I really know. And then the AFC South, the Chiefs were really coming on. They're still battling the Seattle Seahawks, have a good team. And Arizona, they're not that good. Arizona's not that good. But San Francisco's good. But they've been beset by a lot of injuries, I don't know what it is with that team. Think about it, even last year, McCaffrey was hurt for a lot of the year. And Brock Purdy is hurt now still again this year. The 49ers are a weird team to film, It seems like they get hurt. So I don't know. But anyway, it should be an interesting stretch run in football. I can't believe that we're about to enter the second half of the season. It seems like we just started the football season, didn't it? And like we're getting into the second half of the football. Time flies, I tell you, it really does. But we got the Sixers just opening up the other night, and we're winding down baseball and World Series. So, it's a fun time of the year. I'm glad you tuned in today to say hello. Hope everybody has a great day, peace and love, and I'll talk to you again soon. Sometime this week I'll be on again, and we'll chit chat. We'll chat about all kinds of stuff, whatever. And listen to some Bon Jovi today. Okay? Do yourself a favor and get ready. Bon Jovi's coming sometime next summer. So I hope you get to see him too. Take care. Bye.